Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. 888-933-93. A few things going on that maybe we'll discuss. It's possible.
It's a few.
Uh-huh. I was all
we have
set.
2 hours.
Yes. Right. So we got to squeeze that full 15 minutes worth of incredible information and entertainment into just those 2 hours. But I was getting a little angry. By the time the JFK files were finally released yesterday, about 6 o'clock our time, because they said 11 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right?
That was the original time.
Mm-hmm. And then nothing. And I kept searching for them, and it said, JFK files to be released. No! That's future tense. It's supposed to have already happened. What is going on? So finally, they came out. And, there's a lot to go through. But apparently, it turns out it was Rafael Cruz, Ted's dad, after all.
Shocking.
Really?
Didn't see that coming.
I was shocked.
I was too. I was really... Now, I poo-pooed that, when it was brought up during the race. But what are you going to do?
A lot of people have kind of forgotten about it.
Yeah, about Rafael Cruz.
Yeah.
A lot of people forgot about it. Some funny stuff in the Babylon Bee, too. They said it was seed oils.
Yes.
That killed him. So
Funny.
That explains RFK's crusade against him.
Doesn't it, though? Yeah, his uncle was killed by canola oil. So, of course, he's upset about it. But this is, some of it's new. 2,182 PDF documents totaling 63,400 pages. Does that mean there's about 17,000 more coming? Or
Yeah, I don't know if they've
was
stopped.
it 80,000
There
off?
was a report that they found more that wasn't released that I saw. Now, whether that was true or not, they said that they had found more since the ones that they were going to release were okay to be released.
Would they look in their sock drawer?
I guess.
And
I don't know.
looking for a missing sock, and they found the documents
and I
instead.
don't even know if that's true. I just know that that's what was reported. So, I mean, that's why I started on page 40,000.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't want to start at 1. That would be stupid.
You don't really want to spoil the last 2/3.
It looks like that JFK release page at the archives website was last updated yesterday. So I don't know if they're going to continue today or what.
Yeah.
So it included typewritten reports and handwritten notes spanning decades, including details of a top CIA agent who claimed the deep state was responsible. Shocking.
It is.
Shocking. Said Lee Harvey Oswald was a poor shot. We've heard that before.
Yeah.
And the Secret Service had been warned Kennedy would be killed in August. He was killed in November, so 3 months prior to being assassinated, they were tipped off to it, supposedly.
Well, we know through the Brad Meltzer book that there was, the assassination attempt that failed. Mm-hmm. Prior to the one that didn't.
Right. Yep. Did not include annotations. It didn't include what agency documents, where the documents originated from, how they were linked together, or whether they were found more credible than others to the investigation. But President Trump promised it was going to be released, and released it was. Some of it redacted.
Because didn't he say 88,000 pages? Because right now,
I thought so, yeah.
like you said, they've only done 63. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's only 75%, right? So maybe there's more today. I hope.
Maybe.
But, this is...
Some of
this
it
is
was
a lot.
redacted, though, still?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. In fact, there's this one conversation where
I think that's
It must
probably
have been
from
before
before,
page
though.
40,000, because that's where I started on
Okay.
40,000.
And you haven't seen any
I haven't seen
redacting?
anything else.
You missed that part? Yeah. No, there was this one thing where I think it's like a 200-page conversation between the assistant director of the FBI and I think the question was Oswald and Ruby working together?
What?
And then
Wow.
And
Okay.
Then, and then
That's interesting.
Those PDFs disappear. I'm trying to find it here. I printed up so much.
I
It's
do
just
have a
voluminous.
question, though.
But anyway,
have you printed up the entire thing yet?
that
Keith? 'Cause-
conversation is missing from the release here.
That's crazy.
And so people are like, hey, yeah, here we go. Interview of Alan Belmont, assistant FBI director from May 6, 1964. On page 27, he is questioned whether Ruby and Oswald worked together. And then a bunch of pages are missing. Full PDF is only 52 pages, but the interview goes on to page 473. Would be useful to have those pages.
Yep. 473 pages of one conversation?
Apparently.
I haven't had 473 pages of conversation with my wife in 40 years.
That's funny.
What? What? That is quite a discussion.
You weren't trying to assassinate a president.
No, that is true. That is true. One document was a memo released on a passage from the left-wing political magazine Ramparts from June 1967. It was about this intelligence agent, a CIA informant, and former U.S. Army captain John Garrett Underhill Jr. The day after the assassination, Underhill left Washington in a hurry. Later that evening, he showed up at the home of a friend in New Jersey, and he was very agitated, apparently. Here's what he said. A small clique within the CIA was responsible for the assassination, and he was afraid for his life and would probably have to leave the country. Interestingly, less than 6 months later, Underhill was found shot to death in his Washington apartment.
No, it was suicide.
Yeah, the coroner ruled it a suicide. Okay. So nothing to see here. Move along.
Yeah.
Move along. Nothing to it. He was obviously wrong and distraught in his life.
He was mentally
unstable.
Unstable, yes.
Yeah.
To your point, Jeffy, I'm looking for the. Do you have what it says about the crime scene there? About how he was shot. I think
about his suicide you're talking about?
Uh-huh.
No, I don't have the details on that.
Okay, I'm looking for that because here we go. He had been shot behind the left ear, and an automatic pistol was under his left side. Odd, says an associate of his, because Underhill was right-handed.
No, that is
Bryans thinks
odd.
That the pistol was
when you're
fitted
emotionally
with
distraught.
Yeah, you don't pay attention to what hand you're killing yourself with.
So nobody in the apartment complex heard a shot. It had a silencer, apparently. Of course, I don't know why you would care if you're killing yourself.
Well, you don't want to disturb your neighbors.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, that makes sense.
It might have been late at night. He didn't want to wake anybody up.
Because I contend if you're going to kill yourself, drive outside of town, jump off a bridge. Don't impact rush hour. So maybe he's just a conscientious suicider.
Right. Yeah.
So,
did he have plastic? Did he have Visqueen laid down or anything, or was it just part of the apartment?
Yeah, Visqueen. So anyway, this is that was interesting. I mean, pages like this is the one that really gives you all the information you're looking for. It's a blank page.
Wow.
So I noticed you didn't answer my question. Have you printed the entire JFK file yet?
No, don't be ridiculous. There's not enough paper in the building for that. Only half of it.
Wow. So, who knows? A lot of people are saying there's not much new here. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
There seems to be some new stuff.
It's interesting that there are pages where, they say, to take out what's bracketed, and a lot of times what's bracketed is the word Israel or a reference to Israel. What's that about?
Okay.
Who knows?
Yep. So, here's a case in point. CIA has no objection to declassification and or release of the information in this document except brackets. And what's inside the brackets? The Israeli intelligence service.
Insinuating that the Mossad has something to do with it.
Yep. That's what's being insinuated.
Hope that's not true.
There's no smoking gun that says Mossad killed JFK.
And why would they have done that?
Because that's the CIA's job. Because apparently the theory is that Israel wanted nukes. JFK didn't want Israel to have nukes. And so they offed him. Again, that's the theory that many people are working with. But again,
you'd have to kill a lot of U.S. presidents in order to ensure that somebody's going to be okay with you having nukes.
Yeah. Well, he got them from, Israel got them from LBJ, right?
Yeah.
Is that when they got? Probably.
Did they?
Pretty sure.
I don't know.
Which would be interesting, right?
I mean,
it would be interesting.
I'm sure it was redacted when they went to the Oval Office and said, "Look, we need nukes," and the guy before you said no. What happened?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Fascinating, though.
Looks like I just cursory Googling.
So he
makes
did
it look like
LBJ is the one who provided Israel the nukes.
Yeah.
I gave the go-ahead that they could have them.
Yeah, basically, this thing I just landed on says look the other way as they develop their program, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I mean, they're a sovereign country. They can do what they want.
Well, yeah, but there were non-proliferation treaties to abide by, and usually those are ignored anyway.
That's what I was going to say. We abide by those.
I was going to say, is any agreement ever abided by anymore?
I don't know why people even sign agreements anymore. Jeez.
Yeah.
So it'll take some time. Maybe there's even juicier things contained in this somewhere. It's pretty tough to go through 63,400 pages in about 12 hours.
Yeah.
So
that, and you get that pit in your stomach when you read through this that it was scrubbed, obviously, before they even released it to us. It's not like Trump may, in all honesty, think it's completely unredacted. But
well, his people might be not redacting it, but it's been redacted.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff
for decades.
Yeah, there are dates on some of these documents from the 90s, 60s, 70s.
And there's nothing he could do about that.
Like, that stuff's gone to the
I'm
wind.
surprised any of the files exist.
Yeah.
I know.
They didn't want it to come out. Why not just delete them, burn them, get rid of them?
Yeah.
Oops, man, did we want to release them?
Yeah, they're just not here anymore.
What happened to them?
If you can find them, go ahead and release them. But
pretty sure that was lost in the fire of 82.
So it is interesting that we have any at all, because the perpetrators would definitely want to cover their tracks. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? But you're a conspiracy theorist if you think there's anything to it. But Lee Harvey Oswald.
I mean, they've done nothing to lead us to believe that they wouldn't tell us the truth.
Right.
Awesome.
Right. No reason to doubt.
Thank you.
Our government.
Thank you.
No reason at all.
No reason.
So I think I think there's going to be more release hopefully today. I don't know how long it takes to scan these documents in, but Anna Polina Luna referenced like they're being scanned in. Yeah, this is her tweet right here. Says there's still more docs being uploaded to archives. This is last night. They're scanning and uploading in real time. Because remember, Trump probably put them on the spot with his comments on Monday.
Yeah,
he did.
He most definitely
did.
did.
So they said people were scrambling like crazy afterward.
So there's a chance that a lot of the stuff isn't even digitized yet.
True. Yeah, true.
All documents can be reviewed. Anyway, so in fact, she even says if you don't want to wait for them to be uploaded, you can head to the U.S. National Archives facility in College Park, Maryland. So apparently you can get to them in real time if you want to head down to the National Archives. But
you're going to book a flight during the break.
Just be prepared for a government employee walking up. Can I scan that real quick while you're looking at that? Can I just be right back? I'm going to go scan this into the internet.
Another big occurrence from yesterday, SpaceX safely returned the astronauts.
Yep.
Finally, they splashed down in the Gulf of America last night, and so they're back home safe and sound. And there's what it looked like.
Boom.
And splashdown. Crew 9 back on Earth.
Yeah, baby.
Finally.
What a relief.
That's great. After all this, it would have been
and SpaceX Freedom splashdown.
So bad if anything happened.
Good main release.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have
Happy
anyway,
splashdown. We see main chutes cut. Nick, Alex, Butch, Sonny, on behalf of SpaceX, welcome home.
Welcome home.
Yeah, it's going to take a while to readjust. They said it takes a couple of months probably to readjust to the gravity and all that.
I was listening to one former astronaut, and he said that he was up there not as long, about half of the amount of time that they've been up there. And it took him 3.5 weeks total to get back into feeling okay.
Normal.
With rehab and everything.
And how long was he up there for?
100 days, something like that. So 100-ish days. And so he was saying that it would be 2.5 to 3 months, like you said. Be a long time to rehab. Plus, he was saying that it takes even longer for your bones to grow get the density back.
I'm sure, yeah.
Did they have
wow.
kind of those nutrients at all?
Yeah, I mean, and they exercise up there, but he talked about how they exercise the large muscles, but the smaller muscles don't get exercised. The ones that you just don't think about using, but you use when you walk.
Mm-hmm.
When you raise your arms, whatever, that you don't think about, that you don't have in space. He was fascinating. Clay, I'm going to try to actually talk to him on Chewing the Fat. He was really fascinating about what transpires in space. But they spent 286 days in space, 4,576 orbits of the Earth.
Wow.
And 121 million miles traveled prior to touchdown.
That's a frequent
121 million miles. Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah, so they do. I have not seen in a single article at all any information about their pay during this time period.
Oh,
have you?
I have.
Oh, you did?
I did. Now, this was according to one of the experts.
Okay.
All right. Let's go. Millionaires. Oh, no. He sniffed.
No overtime.
Oh, God.
Or compensation above and beyond their usual salary.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That is insane.
Trump
Now,
will fix it.
That's,
Come on. That can't be right. Can't be right.
Doge saved enough money to give them overtime pay so they
But
can
that's
retire.
Boeing. I mean, they worked for Boeing. They didn't work for NASA. They didn't work for SpaceX. They were Boeing astronauts.
Wow.
Technically.
Okay. Oh, boy. That's not good. I did think it was kind of adding insult to injury when they disembarked. Forgot what the technical word is. But
they kept using it yesterday too.
Yeah,
What was it?
Because
it drove me crazy. Because I wanted to shut up with that.
It was
I know.
something like disembark.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's not it.
I
though.
know. We'll find it. So they're the last two because of seating order. They're the last two off the crowd. Come on.
I know. I know.
Screw protocol.
They got rid of the Russian. They got rid of the other guy. They made them sit in there long. Yeah, I know. That was ridiculous.
That was
But
cool
you saw
with
them. I mean, they came off. I sent in Sonny and Butch both got off, and they help you out, obviously, and set you on. This is what it looked like on the ship out in the Gulf of America as the rocket or capsule. This is, Sonny getting out of there, and then Butch gets out of there, and they all get on their little roller seat, and off they go. Happy to be back on Earth.
Next stop, the hairdresser. I want a spa day. I can just hear her right now.
Well, they're getting a spa month and a half for rehab.
What is the shower situation up there? Wipes?
Yeah, they
just wipe yourself down.
Yes, they have a wet, dry towel system, and then they dry. And then they dry off with a towel, and then to be completely dry because the water doesn't evaporate. It just stays right there.
Yep.
They use a vacuum cleaner and vacuum the water off of you.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Different life.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's for sure.
It was cool seeing the dolphins circling the.
That was cool.
The
the one Butch said a big prayer. When they were up at the ISS, he was asked about it. He talked about God and said a prayer. And was like, I'm pretty sure all the press were like, okay, let's wait till he's done. Just wait till he's done. Let's let him get over it. Just let him get over it. Okay, he's saying a prayer. Stop.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Very uncomfortable by that. Yeah. All right. Let me tell you about Steak Day. It can be one of the best. It's like going on vacation, frankly. It's like, when you're looking forward to steak, like I do, it is almost like you're on the verge of going to France.
And you just celebrate this one day. A steak day.
Yes. Steak day. 1 day a week.
Wow.
2 days a week.
Yeah, okay. Now
maybe
okay,
3.
Thank you. All right.
But it's especially great when that steak comes from a cow that was raised right here in Texas. If you want to buy beef from a family-owned 5th-generation ranch like I do, look no further than Tri-Tails Beef. You can bring premium Texas beef right to your table. This isn't from Zimbabwe. These are cattle that were raised the right way by people who really care, by Americans who understand the process.
I will say, if you've ever had Zimbabwe beef,
you don't want it.
You don't want it anymore.
You don't want
it any longer.
It's packed and delivered right to you at your door. USDA Prime and choice beef with high-end Black Angus genetics that ensures that every single bite's going to be really, really delicious and very, very juicy and tender. This stuff is so tender you could almost cut it with a spoon. No grass-fed gimmicks, just premium, flavorful beef that's been raised the right way and balanced for tenderness. And marbling. So that means these cattle are pasture-raised and grain-finished by Texans who really care about the quality of their product. I love this stuff. They are fantastic. If you'd like to have some as well, go to trybeef.com/Pat Gray. So that's really important because there's a little glitch that you might have to put it in manually. But if you go into trybeef.com/Pat Gray, you'll get the free steak tips with your order. It'll just be included automatically.
Nice.
Trybeef, Try, trybeef.com/Pat Gray to get free steak tips on orders over $249.99. That's TRY beef, trybeef.com/Pat Gray.
And now, Pat Gray returns.
Egress, Jeffrey.
Yeah, egress from the capsule.
As the egress from the capsule.
From the capsule.
That was the word of the
Dragon
day.
Capsule. Yes. Oh, it's maddening.
There you go. Use that today. I'm going to egress out of my vehicle in the parking lot.
It's so invidious to use egress over and over and over, though. That's what bothers me about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then over the weekend, we had that judge mad about the Venezuelan gang members being deported. He misses them terribly. He wants them back. He wants them
Does
back.
he have a place for them to stay at the house? Or?
No.
Oh.
No, but he's sure that we do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But he says that Trump can't use the Alien Enemies Act. So President Trump and others have called for impeachment of that judge who's clearly overstepping his constitutional authority.
Yep.
So then Chief Justice John Roberts got involved and released this statement. For more than 2 centuries, it's been established that impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement concerning a judicial decision.
What?
The normal appellate review process exists for that purpose. This guy's so bad. I mean, that almost never happens. Supreme Court Chief Justices don't get involved in this kind of stuff.
Nope.
Butt out. What are you doing?
I know.
Amazing.
That's interesting. I wonder if John Roberts' handlers got on the phone.
It's possible.
We need you to release a statement.
Whatever it is that causes him to act and vote the way he does.
Yeah.
Kicked into gear.
And that's not accurate. You can absolutely do impeachment. It's happened multiple times. And what does the Constitution say? It says something about what? Good behavior? Well, when you overstep your authority like this in violation of the Constitution, that doesn't qualify as good behavior.
Roberts just doesn't like it, though.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, he didn't like it.
Right.
So
that's the thing. Mm-hmm. And so what now? Do we just ignore the judges? I mean, that's. I know that we were okay with Biden ignoring. Well, we weren't, but the country was okay with President Biden ignoring
he was proud
the
of it.
judges. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
so I mean, that's bad ground to be on.
I mean, a lot of people are pointing out that you're not going to get these judges impeached. You're not going to get 2/3 of Congress doing this. So I like this Kyle Becker thing. It's a little lengthy, but I mean, he just leaves examples here. You don't need to impeach all of these rogue judges. Just abolish the lower courts where they preside through an act of Congress.
There you go.
Federal judges can flaunt their constitutional duties. They have lifetime appointments, and it's nearly impossible to get the 2/3 in the Senate needed, blah, blah, blah. But Congress has another tool. And he goes on, and he cites examples, 1802, 1913, all these times that, we're going to just
eliminate the court.
Yeah, we're going to just change where these jurisdictions lie. That'll shut them up because then they won't have any power at all.
So again, yesterday, a judge blocked President Trump's ban on transgenders in the military. So he blocked that.
Yep.
Another judge said the dismantling of USAID is likely unconstitutional. And another judge
I'd
blocked
really like
Trump.
to know how that is.
Yeah, I know.
I don't pretend to be a constitutional expert, but I would like to know how it's possible that an entity, a government entity, you said, isn't allowed to be shut down if the president deems it to. And he's not shutting it down. He's just getting rid of programs that are suboptimal.
Yeah, to say the least. And another judge blocked Trump from terminating $14 billion going to green groups that were awarded that money by the Biden administration. I
Right?
Judicial overreach like we've never seen before.
These judges think they are the executive branch or the commander-in-chief, for that matter, on the trans one.
Yeah.
What is this one? Oh, yeah, here we go. Oh, listen to this fact. You want to get pissed. Listen to this. Injunctions halting presidential policies. All right, it happened 6 times total for George W. Bush. It happened 12 times total for Obama. And it happened 64 times under Trump's first term, Biden 14 times. It's already up to 126. That was as of yesterday afternoon before a couple of these rulings came down in the last 6 weeks alone.
Incredible.
This is out of control, the judiciary branch.
Wow. Hey, can Boeing, do they have any space on their next flight to the space station? Because maybe that's where we put these judges. Give them a little vacation up. You're just a week, and we'll be right back for you. And hopefully there won't be any hydraulic leaks.
Yeah, we don't know that,
you
though.
never know.
You never know.
Just leave them there. That would be awesome. Speaking of the space thing, though, Elon said, I think yesterday or the day before, that SpaceX could land a manned mission on Mars by 2029, he's saying now. But 2031 is more likely. Most likely is probably never.
20, never.
20, never. Like the 12th of never is when we're going to. That's my guess. Maybe we should just focus on Venus now instead. Forget the whole Mars.
Well, right now we need to focus on the moon. No, we need to get back to the moon.
Yeah, we can't even do that.
I know.
But the eventual goal, I mean, Venus is closer. Average distance from Earth to Mars is 140 million miles. That's a far piece.
It's a little bit of a drive.
The closest it ever comes is about 34 million, but that won't happen again until 2287. We probably don't want to wait for that. In 2029, this is why I think the target...
if they bypass the 31 and 32, by the time it gets to 2050, they'll say, well, let's just wait until 87.
Oh, yeah. Well, 2287.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they're not going to wait that long.
So in 2029, it'll be about 60 million miles away. Meanwhile, the average distance to Venus is 26 million. And at its closest, it's 24 million. So it's more doable.
Yeah, but Venus isn't as... habitable, right?
No, well, neither is Mars. They're neither one habitable.
Yeah, but Mars is closer.
Venus is very, very volatile.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
And really, really hot. It's hotter than Mercury because of its dense atmosphere that traps all the heat. But here's an interesting factoid on Venus. Did you know that a day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus? You aware of that?
A day on Venus.
A day on Venus
is longer
than a year.
On Venus.
Yes.
On the same planet.
How does that work?
Because it rotates so slowly. Takes 243 days to rotate.
Okay, so...
And it takes 225 to go around the sun.
Wow. That is awesome. I mean, that makes
cool
planning tough on Venus, but...
You look skeptical. Jeffy doesn't believe me.
I believe you.
Not a word did I say.
I know that look. I know that look. What? I don't believe that.
All right.
First of all, where'd you get that factoid?
I love that. Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, it's completely accurate.
Yeah.
Jeffy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Jeffy,
well, I mean,
Mr. Skeptic.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know that we'll ever get to any of the other planets.
I know, it's very disappointing.
With men, with people.
You're correct, because we've done it, with robots and rockets. No problem.
Like you said, we'll be lucky to get back to the moon.
Yeah, I mean, we're already struggling with that, and we've pushed back the Artemis missions.
Yeah,
and they've pushed back the Artemis mission with astronauts to just fly around the moon.
And Glenn's got that interesting. It's more than it's flabbergasting information about the Artemis mission that they're doing, and how they've vowed to be. All identity politics involved. So we're going to get the first gay person. We're going to get the first black woman.
Yeah. They've been
all of
working
that
on
stuff
the whole time.
That's their priority.
Yeah.
So then you wonder, well, why aren't we on the moon yet? Because of that kind of garbage.
How about that Endeavor Air?
That's NASA, right? I mean, that's NASA.
That sounds like Endeavor Air's in charge. They're the ones that flipped that plane upside down and just clipped a wing on a runway and didn't realize it. I mean, that's who you need in charge of that, it sounds like.
All right, 888-900-3393. We'll chew the fat next.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Some tweets here. Unrepentant thought criminal tweets, shortly after splashdown, a liberal activist tried to set the SpaceX capsule on fire after spraying down with Doge on it.
That's funny.
That's about right.
Mr. Sean's tweets, these miles logged in space are impressive, but Joe still put more miles in on Amtrak.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
I think it is.
It's true.
I had to just ask.
Ange told him.
Ange
told him.
Talk to Ange.
Conservatarians tweet, so the Elon's rockets are exploding. D-bags are a little silent today. Just imagine how obnoxious they would have been if there were any issues with the rescue operation.
Oh, man.
Elon kills heroes. Yeah, it would have been ugly, boy.
And they all had to, they said it. I watched a couple news reports, and it's like, the astronauts are back from being stranded in space, which, NASA says they weren't stranded, by the way, and still sticking to their guns on that. Which, their quote was, they were there that long for technical and budgetary reasons. So they, because this particular rocket, this is the one they came home on, has been up there collecting dust since September. And they had some hydraulic issues, which you alluded to earlier, but then it was fine. They fixed that, and it was like, okay, we're good. And they claimed that Biden was holding them back from bringing it home because it was a SpaceX Dragon. And that's when they were reporting the news last night. It was the astronauts are home after a long stay up on a SpaceX Dragon. They could barely get it out of their mouth.
Yeah. All right, let's chew the fat now with Jeffy.
All right.
Introducing Jeffy Fisher. Yes, the Jeffy's on the shop for 30 minutes or so. You put the 18 together with the 7-minute, all you know. When we talk about space,
I think
maybe mention his sights. No one knows for sure, but he's gonna bring to light. Well, it's time to chew the fat, give us something we like. Oh, by the way, Jeffy, make sure to turn on your mic.
Yeah, thank you.
Fury and energy.
Great.
Wait, what is that?
Anyway, no, it was great.
It was great.
It was great.
Really
That's
good.
what I said.
All right.
Did you?
So,
wait.
we were talking off the air about the return, and a little bit on the air, obviously, of the return of the SpaceX Dragon and the astronauts, and Butch and Sonny are finally back on the planet, which is a good thing. They spent more than 8 days up there, which is what they were supposed to spend up there with the Boeing Starliner. But I watched the NASA feed of the return, and they had two girls,
two chicks,
two females.
I thought they did a good job.
I thought they were okay. They repeated themselves a couple of times on some stories, and I'm like, she just got done telling that story.
Clearly wasn't listening to the other one.
They were not paying attention.
That's a fact.
But
there's something else.
And there was they kept the whole when they were getting off in the capsule, the what was it?
Egress.
Egress.
When
they egress. Okay, we got it. And then I know that what you mentioned is absolutely true.
So they kept saying, off the coast of Florida or out in the ocean.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Yes. It's a beautiful sunshiny day.
Refused to say Gulf of America. It was so obvious. You're a government entity. You should say this.
They really struggled with giving the presentation without saying Gulf of America.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Anyway. It's bad. So baseball season started yesterday, and it's up and running. Game 2 going on right now, as a matter of fact. They playing 2 games in Japan for the opening games of baseball season 2025. And then it's kind of a soft launch because baseball season starts the 27th, next Thursday. And but I mean, they were selling them out in Japan, man. Shohei was there, and there were a couple other big Japanese stars that were playing. They were getting at least $2,000 a ticket to fill this Tokyo Dome, and it was filled. And it'll be filled again today too. So baseball's underway. Yay! How excited! America's pastime.
All right.
Yay! There's only
just 160 more games to go.
8,000 more games to go before we care.
Yay! It's just hard to get behind it when March Madness is going on.
I know. Speaking of March Madness, I saw a little fun fact about March Madness. So of the 68 teams in the men's NCAA basketball tournament, 6 have the name Bulldogs. So there's Yale, Drake, Mississippi State, Gonzaga, Georgia, and Bryant. And I thought, okay, well, that's interesting. But then the other thing is, I mean, we know Yale is in Connecticut. Obviously, Mississippi State is in Mississippi. Georgia is in Georgia. But and everybody knows Gonzaga is in Washington, right? But Bryant and Drake. Tell me where Drake University and Bryant University hail from?
Wow.
Drake is Iowa?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the other one?
Bryant.
Illinois.
I don't know.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. That was my next guess.
Wait, I thought you said 8 teams. Because that's 6.
No, 6.
No,
Oh,
six.
okay, my bad. I'm bad at math. You know this.
Another reason that America is back. Matt Richmond won the 40th annual Los Angeles Marathon on Sunday, becoming the first American man to take the title in 31 years. And he defeated, the second and third place runners were
African.
Kenyan.
Yeah,
Kenyans. He crushed it. I hope they find out he didn't cheat. Because, he beat them by his best time, 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 56 seconds. Okay?
American distance runners are starting a real comeback here.
So,
got to be the shoes.
So the two Kenyans, second place and third place, the second place was 2 hours and 10 minutes. He crushed them, the Kenyans. And he said, I made the move about halfway in the race, and they just never made the pace.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, good. And the women's, which amazingly they still have a men's race and a women's race, which is
that's weird.
An interesting little thing. I know. Really
Why don't
weird.
they just compete against you? Why not combine the two?
I don't know.
Weird.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Now the women seem to run just a tad bit slower.
Did they?
Yeah. Because the winner for the men was 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Okay, right? 2:07.
2:07 and 56 seconds, almost 2:08. The winner of the women's race, an Ethiopian, by the way, 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Well, that's just 23 minutes behind the pace.
And
that's about the same.
They were neck and neck or hip and hip because the winner was 2:30.16 and the second place was 2:30.19.
Oh, wow.
And the third place was 2:30.31.
You know what?
All
That's
right there.
incredibly close. What a great race.
Yeah.
That's after 26 miles.
I know.
Wow.
That's what
right
it comes
there.
down to.
Yeah.
Wow.
10 seconds. Incredible.
Must have been fun to see.
Yeah. It was awesome. So anyway, congratulations. America's back, baby. America is back. Be sure to subscribe to my daily show, Chewing the Fat, available wherever you get your podcast, Chewing the Fat. Rate and review where possible, please. Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher. I know you mentioned Gene Hackman yesterday and his wife's death. The case gets stranger and stranger.
I miss you.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Me too.
I
feel
know.
it.
I watched Crimson Tide the other night just to catch some Gene Hackman.
I watched
and Denzel actually. But.
Hoosiers last weekend.
Oh, there you go.
I watched.
Getting ready for March Madness.
Okay, well, I watched home movies because he's my dad, and so
yeah. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, you were in them too.
You had to say it after I did,
Yeah, well,
because
you were in them.
know that I'm his actual, real, illegitimate love child.
Yes, you're his favorite.
First of all, I've gone for years without talking about how Gene was my dad.
Is that
Yeah.
right?
I've reached out to him. There's records of me calling his home for him to reach out. I didn't want anything from him.
No,
I
of
just
course you
wanted him
didn't.
to recognize me as his son.
And you're not mentioning this because of the will now, right?
Is there a will?
Yeah, there's a will.
I did.
Who knew?
How would
You mean
we
there's-
know this?
Is there? Well, listen, if there's money to be had, I'm not one to say no.
It's interesting how so many of Gene's children had just kind of congregated together in this building.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I guess that shows that we're all related and we all had same sort of DNA in us.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
So now the family, or the estate, is seeking a court order to prevent the public release of the photographs, videos, and police body camera footage, saying that the family's right to privacy, the potentially distressing nature of the images. No. Let's see them, please. Let's see them all. We have a right.
Yeah.
To see it.
Yeah, it's our dad.
Thank you. And then there's a new fresh mystery around this.
Around the deaths?
Yeah, around the deaths, because the doctor of the wife said that, you said she died on the 11th. She called my office on the 12th.
Oh, wow.
So
probably not.
Probably not dead on the 11th?
Maybe she was just mostly dead on the 11th. Maybe Miracle Max showed up.
He said that she called a couple of weeks before her death and asked about getting an echocardiogram. She wasn't a patient of mine, but one of my patients recommended this clinic to her. She made an appointment for herself on the 12th, and it was something unrelated to anything respiratory. So she didn't have any mention to the doc about hantavirus. And if she was unable to make the appointment, calling in to tell the staff that she was otherwise occupied with her husband, who had fallen ill. She called back the morning of the 12th, spoke to one of our doctors who told her to come in the afternoon, and then they never could get a hold of her. So,
wow.
I know.
So that kind of narrows it down, doesn't it?
A little bit. But did she really die of hantavirus? I don't know what to make of the whole thing.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's really strange.
Yep.
And I know that she died first, and Dad would have wanted me to take care of all the arrangements and everything. So if they want to reach out, I'll take care of all the arrangements. And
well, you are the oldest, so clearly it does fall to you.
This time, I'm letting that one go because that's the way it is. You're right. Atlas Energy Solutions, a Texas-based oil company, putting truckers out of work, and I don't like it one little bit. No one supports truckers more than myself and chewing the fat. Atlas Energy Solutions has built a $400 million conveyor belt that stretches 42 miles across state lines from Texas into New Mexico. The company calls it Dune Express. It ships sand more safely than they use. They usually use trucks, but it moves sand for fracking. And they're using about 50% less trucks. I know, it is kind of cool.
That is cool.
Personally, I don't care about the animals because I know the environmentalists were all concerned. It's disrupting natural habitats. And some of the endangered species.
Wait, shade?
And some of the endangered species. And I'm like, they'll move. That's fine. And you're right.
Shade in the desert?
They'll move under the.
Yes.
They'll move under the.
I guarantee
belt.
you're just going to see so many animals.
I just hate seeing the truckers lose their jobs.
That's
So I don't like that one a little bit. And we got news of a Chinese EV car maker, BYD. I think their real name is Bayadi or something like that, but they go by BYD. They unveiled a new platform of electric vehicles that could charge in as quickly as you pump gas for the first time.
That's what I've been waiting for.
Wow. Will it actually happen? I don't know. But they believe that the so-called Super E platform will be capable of peak charging speeds, enabling cars that use it to travel 249 miles on a 5-minute charge.
Wow.
So the new charging architecture said is going to be initially available in their 2 new EVs. And then they said it would build over 4,000 new charging piles, units across China. So, comparison, Tesla, says you can get maybe 200 miles for 15 minutes?
Okay.
Maybe. I think, you're probably pushing it to get 200 miles for 15 minutes.
Okay. Cool.
That's still, if I can go in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Now
you're getting to a reasonable area where I wouldn't mind that. Now,
I will say the company didn't specify the time frame on building all these facilities and charging stations. So, is it going to happen? Is it true? I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope it'd be nice.
Yeah.
They're selling pretty good in China. They say they sold 4 or 5 million last year, and they're anticipating selling more than 6 million
what do they
this
cost?
year. I think these new ones were 37,000, 38,000, something like that. For one of the newer ones,
and it goes about 250 miles on a charge.
On a 5-minute charge, yeah. So I don't know if the new Super E platform, if you leave it on longer, you get more. You know what I mean? I don't know where, because Elon claims that the best time to charge it is when it's not all the way down, and it will charge faster when it's not all the way down. You put the time in, and it will charge faster up to about 80%, and then you don't need to charge it anymore because it slows down. If you want to, it slows down after 80%. So when you get to 80%, unplug it and go. I mean, that's what he said.
Fix it. Fix that. Okay, that's not good enough. Sorry, I'm not. I love them though. I think they're fantastic cars.
And we were talking last week about seeing so many Teslas. I'm telling you, I believe this is the Tesla capital of the world.
Oh,
DFW is the Tesla capital. I'd like to know if there's another
Texans
municipality that has more Teslas in it. I'd like to know where they are.
Yeah, well, I will say that
didn't they release where all the owners are?
Yes, for the Molotov cocktail.
Yeah. Oh no, really?
Yeah, there's a map of where Tesla owners are. I mean, obviously there's tons.
I meant to look at that too to see how many were in DFW.
This isn't that good, but anyway, they're kind of clustered in places like you said.
Yeah.
But I would love to know if DFW. I think you're right.
I meant to look at that map when I saw that they had released it I want to know just to see how many Teslas are here.
I mean, in general, it's the luxury vehicle capital of the world, but I think especially Teslas.
Oh man, I was at a red. What made me think of it is I was at a red light yesterday, and there's a Tesla here and a Tesla behind me, and there's one making the turn.
I know.
I'm like,
they're everywhere.
Okay.
I don't. If you combine all the rest of my life, I have seen more Maseratis here
yes.
than the rest of my life combined.
Yes.
Rolls Royces.
Those are all mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, you're just seeing me out there.
Well, I can't afford that, but maybe after we put Dad to rest, I might.
Right, we get the will situation settled.
Yeah. That's settled up.
He did promise me I was going to get the lion's share of it. So.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
But I'm the oldest.
No, I know. He didn't like you as much as he liked me.
Well, in fairness, I mean, he did have dementia. So it was actually me he
fairness.
liked. Yeah.
All right. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
With some tweets to share. It's Rhino season tweets. We'll get to Mars after we compile a crew with the first gay, transgender, disabled, neurodiverse person of color.
Oh,
sure.
I'm a little pissed there's no fat guy seating yet.
Oh, wow. That's
not
the
as
one
diverse
area.
as we thought, are we?
Still okay to discriminate.
It sure is.
Be offended, Jeffy.
I am.
Sarah the Band. Maybe foreigners are afraid to win our marathons since we're deporting everybody.
Oh, I don't want to stand out.
Rowdy Introvert, where there's a Will, there's a Jeffy scam.
Oh, yeah.
Very true.
Definitely.
That's very true.
What kind of scam?
What?
You'll figure one out.
It could be pretty much anything. I know you're always scheming something.
I mean,
so.
I would like to say that if you're referring to my bloodline, there's no scam involved.
Oh, really?
Right?
Really?
I know that he was my father, and I've reached out to.
Why would we think
reached
that
out
that's a
for
scam?
years. I've reached out for
Methinks
years.
you doth protest too much. We didn't bring that up as a scam.
Didn't say a word
I'm
about
willing
it.
to look. I've been willing to take a DNA test for years.
Have you?
And
have you?
And they just refused to call me back.
Huh? That's weird. That's really weird.
I didn't realize Dad was suffering so much.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have kept in touch
Should have kept it.
more.
I did.
Yep.
I knew.
See, he knew.
Because we're in touch on a pretty regular basis. So, President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin agreed during a 2-hour call yesterday to an immediate pause in strikes against energy infrastructure in Ukraine. But the Russian leader stopped short of backing a broader 30-day pause in fighting that the U.S. administration's pressing for. The White House described it as the first step in a movement to peace that it hopes will eventually lead to an end to the fighting.
Yeah, no kidding.
But
So this
there was
is just energy, not infrastructure? Interesting.
But there was no indication that Putin has backed away from his conditions for a prospective peace deal. According to the Kremlin, Putin reiterated his demand for an end to foreign military and intelligence assistance to Ukraine. How about you stop attacking Ukraine and then we'll stop giving them assistance? Actually, I'm in favor of stopping anyway. But, but why don't you attach that as a condition?
Yeah.
As soon as you stop attacking Ukraine, then we're going to. There's no reason then to continue to supply them.
I mean, that makes too much sense, Pat.
Doesn't it?
I mean, seriously, we don't want to keep funding Ukraine.
No.
So we win there. There's peace, at least for the moment. It's a win there.
Yes.
Can we just sit at a table for a while?
It is a win-win.
Yeah.
If you just stop attacking, we'll stop supplying. Seems like a no-brainer to me.
Then we're back to NATO and, allowing Ukraine in. I mean, we treat them like they're NATO
I don't even hear
now
them
without
talking about
being
that.
NATO.
Yeah, we have been doing that, but that needs to stop, and we need to fulfill that promise that we made that they wouldn't become part of NATO. I don't have any problem with that at all. Okay, they'll never be a NATO nation.
Yeah, I don't think.
Let's move on.
Yeah, I got news for you.
Wants.
There's nothing in it for us, the United States, by having Ukraine there, and nothing but risk.
That's right. It's exactly right.
Plus, I mean, we've got Greenland now, so.
Wait, is that breaking news?
Did we plant the flag already?
I hope so.
All right. Russia also wants Ukraine to pull back its troops from the 4 regions that Moscow has annexed, renounce any prospect of joining NATO, and sharply cut its army size. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, the army thing is a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
How about
no?
Don't worry about
on
the
that.
size of my army.
Just scratch that.
no?
That's redacted now. On the program.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Well, those 4 provinces, that's interesting. Man.
I mean, how about you pull all your troops out of Ukraine, you stop attacking Ukraine, and then, we'll pull out of the Russian areas that we have. It's all fair, right? And the West will stop supplying Ukraine with weapons and money.
Which Ukraine does not want. I mean, they don't.
No, they don't want that.
Have that happen.
Well, because they want us to rebuild them afterward. I'm sure that's going to fall to us. We got a lot of problems here. We can't afford it, and we don't have housing, and we don't have infrastructure anymore.
Mark my words. Even adjusted for inflation, the rebuilding of Ukraine will cost more than the Marshall Plan.
I'm sure.
Rebuilt all of Europe after World War II.
I'm sure.
How's our bioweapons labs doing in Ukraine? We gonna check up on those in a while?
Shh. Haven't heard a peep about that. Not a peep. All right, let me tell you about Birch Gold. You don't go out and buy a life jacket when the boat is already sinking and you're about to go under the water for the 3rd time. And you don't buy gold when the economy's already collapsed. Clearly, others are heeding this advice because gold just hit all-time highs in the first part of this year. It's over $3,000 an ounce. It's not too late for you, though. The company I trust to help you diversify into physical gold is Birch Gold, the company I buy my gold from. Birch Gold specializes in helping you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold with no money out of pocket. So they've got just tons of 5-star reviews, calling them knowledgeable, helpful, no pressure. That's what you get with Birch Gold. And that's why I've endorsed them for so long. You can get your free info kit on gold by texting the word PAT to the number 989898. There's no obligation to do that. Just really useful information. Go through it, see if it's right for you. They have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, countless 5-star reviews. So text PAT to 989898. Let the experts at Birch Gold help you secure your future today with gold. Texting PAT to 989898. speaking of energy, here on the home front, President Trump has promised to unleash beautiful coal for more energy production. It is beautiful, truly. People are saying that they've never seen it. They've never seen coal this beautiful before. It's the best coal. It's incredible coal. It's beautiful.
The coal I see them shipping in on trains coming into Fort Worth is pretty good looking, I'll tell you that.
Oh, it's beautiful, right? Would you describe it as beautiful?
Yes, I would.
Yeah. I've never lived this close to railroad tracks before, but now that I do, I realize rail travel is still a thing.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh my gosh.
It's awesome.
There is more train travel than I thought possible. I mean, we're probably doing more train travel with freight and passengers than we were doing in the 1800s.
Well, for sure freight. I mean, we ship, and I'm not joking, I see them bringing in coal cars
all the
into
time.
Fort Worth all the time.
Well, there's that huge BNSF rail yard out there, that whole area that Ross Perot built up with an airport, a train depot, warehouses, Texas Motor Speedway. Anyway, it is the traffic up there, like you said, is nonstop.
It's nuts.
That rail yard.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Look at the traffic on the roads around it.
Look at the traffic around the entire DFW.
Yeah.
Has increased.
You have to stop
exponentially.
You almost stop for as many trains as you go through school zones.
Yeah. It's pretty close.
It is pretty close.
I mean, it's nonstop.
School zones, man.
It happens all the time.
They could build the roads under the train, or vice versa.
Yeah, but it's harder and it costs more. So let's just...
My time's important.
I know.
And valuable. Let's go.
No. We never do it right the first time. Just do it right now, because eventually you're going to have to do it anyway. Just do it now and get it taken care of the right way instead of just, this is good enough. Throw that up. Put the railroad arms there, block traffic.
It'll be fine.
It's fine.
Oh, what's really awesome is that the train, you'll get done waiting, and you'll start seeing a few cars go, and then about the fourth or fifth one, then the arms come back down because there's a train coming from the other direction. That's cool.
That's fun.
I love that.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's a good day.
It sure is. And, we're also patient that you don't mind just sitting there for 15, 20 minutes, half an hour.
Especially when the sun moves extra close to Texas.
Yeah.
And you're just baking.
Yep. Yes, sir. That's right.
Texas sounds like a fun place, huh?
Oh, doesn't it? And it is.
First world problems. That's what I hear.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I wanted to get to this Schumer thing because he was on The View yesterday. Apparently, he's upset about President Trump and Elon Musk cutting the government.
Yeah.
Because...
was this
four clips
all
from him
douche
yesterday,
day at The View? Or?
Well, do you want to do The View first? Or because he started his day early on at CBS Morning News.
Oh, wow.
And Gayle King had an issue with that she expressed.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Hakeem and I, we have a day of action on Medicaid. In every state, in every corner of the country, Democrats are talking about they're going to Medicaid centers. They're going to people who would be deprived. And
Senator, people don't have faith in the Democrats.
Well, let me say this.
People don't have faith in the Democrats.
Nice.
Let me say this.
Gayle King saying that.
That's great. Okay, so that he was confronted there.
Yeah. His little book tour has turned into a very awkward one encounter after another. He is backpedaling. I mean, not backpedaling. He is treading water, I should say, like you've never seen Chuck do before.
And he headed over to the Coven, where he was really upset with how things are going in Washington.
This is a different, horrible kettle of fish. They hate the government. They want to shut down everything. You heard what Musk said. $2 trillion.
You know who else hated the government? The Founding Fathers. Let me quote Thomas Jefferson. That government is best which governs least.
Boom.
Small government is what they set up. But he can't abide that because he wants the power.
But that was what?
It was a couple centuries ago, 50 years-ish ago. So
we're
we
way past that.
We don't pay attention to those guys anymore.
Nope.
And we really don't.
Yeah.
But here was more from Chucky.
So a lot of people responded to the anguish. I appreciate it. I am furious. I wake up 3 a.m. sometimes, so worried about the future of the country under these oligarchs.
Is that why you wake up at 3 a.m.?
Whatever, as oligarchs, I guess.
Yes.
He doesn't even know what he's trying to babble about.
He peed himself. That's why he wakes up in the morning. Because,
I see.
So
hold on. He's thinking about Elon Musk in the middle of the night.
Yeah, in the middle of the night. It is a little weird, isn't it?
But that first clip from The View that we played, he is so used to the rhinos and the run-of-the-mill Republicans that just go along to get along, and he's shell-shocked. Oh, my gosh, I don't have my good old boy club up here anymore where I can, get in front of the cameras and look like I'm really upset with Republicans, but we're hanging out and drinking beers in the evening. I love this sea change in Washington. This is what we wanted the first go-around with Trump, and thank God the second time we're definitely getting this.
He had more, though. He had more to say.
No.
And you know what their attitude is?
What?
I made my money all by myself.
Listen to
How
this.
dare your government take my money from me? I don't want to pay taxes. Or I built my company with my bare hands. How dare your government tell me how I should treat my customers, the land and water that I own, or my employees? They hate government. Government's a barrier to people. A barrier to stop them from doing things. They want to destroy it. We are not letting them do it, and we're united.
Okay.
Listen to the attitude of this absolute retard. As long as the word is back, let's use it where it's appropriate. He obviously believes that we work for him.
Absolutely.
That our money rightfully belongs to him and the government. It's exactly what Thomas Jefferson was talking about. This is why they created a small government that was of, by, and for the people. Not the people for the government. The government is of, by, and for the people. This is what the Democrat Party is all about now.
That's for
These
sure.
hideous Marxist principles. That's a Marxist speaking there. You know what their attitude is? That I built my company and I get my money. Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah! That's our attitude, Karl Marx.
Gosh, I mean,
Sorry you don't share it. Get out!
Flashback to Barack Obama. You didn't build that.
Yes!
Bro.
That's exactly what that is. Wow, that is just mind-numbing. That's really mind-numbing.
If that's what they want to take, the angle they want to take.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Good. I mean, to just come out and say it. Virtually say, yes, I am a Marxist. Okay? I believe that your money rightfully belongs to me. I believe in massive, bloated government, and I don't want to cut a single dime out of it. How dare you think that you deserve the money you make? How dare you think that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Joe, play that last Chuck Schumer clip again. Chris got a great point here. I think we need some musical accompaniment here.
And you know what their attitude is? I made my money all by myself. How dare your government take my money from me? I don't want to pay taxes. Or I built my company with my bare hands. How dare your government tell me how I should treat my customers, the land and water that I own, or my employees? They hate government. Government's a barrier to people. A barrier to stop them from doing things. They want to destroy it. We are not letting them do it, and we're united.
Thank you, Joe Stalin. Appreciate that. Welcome back to the planet, by the way. Welcome back. Welcome back to the planet. Wow. That's incredible. All right. Anytime in life you have to make a really big change, it can be really, really hard. Like selling a house. I don't know how you think that house belongs to you. I suppose you think
Thank you.
that you should be able to keep it if you want to, or sell it if you want,
or profit from
to profit from it. Heaven forbid you profit from it.
No, we can't have that.
And by the way, when you do profit from it, I know this from fairly recent experience.
Okay.
They hit you as hard as they possibly can. And then they hit you again. So they're beating you the whole time you own your house with the property tax.
You got to get it through your head.
Yeah.
You got to get it through your thick skull.
And then even when you sell it, they want a massive portion of it.
That's why you need the best people working for you.
That's why. That's right. That's why. And, you might want to get one of them with some tax sense as well so you can figure out how to shelter your money that you make from your home. But you need an agent on your side, somebody who can sell your house for the most money. You get the most money out of it. And when you're buying a house, you get the most house for your money in the best neighborhood with the best school districts. And all of these things are really important. And that's where Real Estate Agents I Trust come in. Real Estate Agents I Trust. They're fans of the show. They got a lot in common with you. And this is a free service that we provide for you to just get you together with a great realtor and take all of that stress and pressure off of you. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Call us at 888-900-3393. Pat Gray Unleashed will return.
Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. After hearing that Chuck Schumer clip, what do you think of this quote? Playing a little game that Keith brought to the table. Who made this quote? The collection of any taxes which are not absolutely required, which do not, beyond reasonable doubt, contribute to the public welfare, is only a species of legalized larceny. Under this republic, the rewards of industry belong to those who earn them. The only constitutional tax is the tax which ministers to public necessity. Who said that?
AI.
I think it was Carrot Top.
You did not.
Was it Carrot Top?
Sir, no. It wasn't.
No? It wasn't Carrot Top?
That's a good guess, though.
No, it's not a good guess.
Thank you. I thought so. I thought it sounded like him.
I thought it was like just a compilation from AI when you asked, hey, what did someone like Carrot Top think about taxes?
No. But
wasn't
no.
that, though? No.
That is weird.
Pat actually guessed it.
Calvin Coolidge.
Calvin Coolidge.
Yeah.
So
great.
AI,
what a great
AI
president.
brought Calvin Coolidge and Carrot Top together.
Yes.
Then.
Yeah, because they're so similar, the two of them. They think alike,
Right.
Boy, that's actually a great idea for a show.
Carrot Top
Calvin
and
the
Calvin.
Carrot Top.
Yeah.
Like an oddball, like they're roommates.
That'd be fun.
Some sitcom.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I want to hear an update on how it's going with the Houthis right now. Our attack on the Houthis is supposed to be unrelenting. Have you heard much about it? I've heard very little about it. All I heard was Russia asked us to stop and just have dialogue with them.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Are you kidding me?
They need to stop attacking our ships.
I mean, but Russia? That is so preposterous. There can only be a 2-word response to that.
Okay.
And the second word is you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's a headline from Reuters from 48 minutes ago.
That Russian speak?
Yeah.
Go.
Go you. Yeah.
You who are attacking Ukraine, try to tell us. Go.
Okay. You got it wrong. Okay. U.S. strikes Houthi strongholds in Yemen where leaders are hiding, say Yemeni sources. That's from 48 minutes ago.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yep. I'm just looking here.
That's good. We shot down 11 Houthi drones on Sunday, but that was kind of the last I'd heard of it, so that's a good update. We're shooting down the drones whether or not now they're getting near our ships, which we should be.
What a shame.
Yeah,
Target
we
practice.
should be doing it.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too. It's about time because we have been attacked by the Houthis over and over and over, and we're just supposed to take it.
Our military were given orders not to shoot down these drones until they looked like they were attacking.
Yes.
Until they had to shoot first.
Right.
No.
Now we're just going to blow them out of the sky, which is the way it should be.
Yes.
Yesterday, we played a clip on Overtime showing Venezuelan gang members being shipped to an El Salvador prison, the big Supermax prison they have. It was set to the song Closing Time by Semisonic.
It's funny.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Closing time. That video was apparently created by the White House.
I didn't know this.
And so the band Semisonic tweeted this out in response.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
You're not
This
going to
can't
like
be
it.
good.
No, it's not good.
It can't be good. If they're a band. And
We'd
it's a
like
rock
to thank
band.
President Trump.
Sure,
and,
sure.
There it is. We did not authorize or condone the White House's use of our song Closing Time in any way. And no, they didn't ask. Oh, those bastards.
Uh-oh, there's more.
The song is about joy and possibilities and hope, and they have missed the point entirely.
Well, I got good news for Semisonic. It's not their song to condone because in 2021 they sold the rights to their entire catalog to another company. So permission not needed for you or from you.
What'd they get for that? How much did they make a pretty big fortune from it?
I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear from you then.
I like the meme.
Shut
there
up.
were a lot of great comments under that stupid tweet. They had to disable comments, but
and plus it did bring a little bit of a joy and possibilities
It sure did.
to us.
Yeah, because I like murderous alien bastards shipped out of my country.
I mean, they were treated kind of mean.
Yeah, because their heads were being pushed down as they were being maneuvered.
They were
into
shackled.
There's the best response. It's a meme of JD Vance with a pipe.
I don't really care, Margaret.
There it is.
So good.
So there you go. Semisonic.
No,
siding
they're
with
upset. Oh no.
Venezuelan gang members.
How about this? We won't use any of your other catalog at all because nobody knows a single other song that you've ever done.
No, that's not true.
That is true.
No,
it's true.
come on
Name
now.
one. Name a Semisonic song.
Gosh, D&D. This will be my year.
All right.
Down in Flames.
You specialize
Chemistry.
in obscure rock songs like this.
Just the singles.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to the deep cuts.
Did anybody? I mean, those were played on radio stations.
I don't know, man. They were played on Keith radio.
Okay, yeah, that I believe. All right, 888-933-93. There is much more to come.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. 888-933-93. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. It's amazing the issues that the left get all hyped up about. Love the Chuck Schumer thing where he's so pissed off that people think that their money is theirs. So
I hate that.
But look at the issues they have. Okay, so they're Marxism and the Marxist culturalism that is going on in the left. What are their main things in life that really get them fired up? Abortion, killing babies, anytime for any reason, fair game. Hating Israel, supporting Palestinians and Hamas, even after the massacre of October 7th. Encouraging gender transformations, especially of young people, preteens or teens, and allowing them to mutilate their bodies.
So if you didn't kill them, you got to change them.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got to mutilate them later on.
Make it so that they can't procreate.
I mean, could we just address their confusion at first? Could we do that? Could we maybe see if we can help them through that time period? It's a pretty weird time period for virtually everybody.
Yeah.
And maybe this will pass. Allowing biological men to compete against women is one of their big deals, and share bathrooms and locker rooms with women. Women was supposed to be one of their big issues. Women's rights. What happened to that? Where are you on that? They want to keep that war in Ukraine going. That's for sure. They want to continue to send our weapons. They want to fund it. They're not interested in peace there. They don't want illegals deported, including gang member illegals. They're trying to shut down all contrasting points of view online. I mean, these people are despicable. But we're the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We're the problem.
So is it fair to say, after what you just said there, that what animates the left always leads to death and destruction?
Yes, it is fair to say.
Does seem that way.
They're the party of death. Yeah, it's a death cult. All right, we got some tweets here. Dirty Mule 94 tweets, I'll gladly donate my SpaceX frequent flyer miles to send judges to space. One-way ticket. Okay. I think that's generous. That's generous. Fat lump of goo.
Oh, whoa.
We treat Ukraine like they're part of like they're part of NATO, even though they're not. Just like we treat Jeffy like he's a human, even though he's not. Wait.
Oh, wow.
What?
I mean, that's not fat shaming.
No, it's not. It's species shaming, right?
That's okay.
Yeah, well, I mean,
we've never really had a mandate against it.
Okay.
I mean,
maybe we need to consider a mandate.
Maybe it's possible to consider a mandate.
Now let's table that discussion. I kind of like that tweet.
Yeah.
You like I'm not
tweet.
a human?
No, you're a good guy. Ish.
Whatever.
I don't know. The species shit, we'll have to look into that. All right. We're going to do a deep dive into the species shaming
that's going to take DNA tests. You got to get a doctor and a scientist in here.
Well, I have to do a DNA test anyway coming up so that they, know that, I'm the son of Dad.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see the results of that because I never saw you at a family dinner. So I want proof.
Come to think
never
of it,
once saw you around the Hackman table at Thanksgiving. Not once.
That's because he never called me back. That was my point.
Pat, I never saw you around the Hackman family table either. I just want that known as well.
All right. Speaking of Vice President JD Vance, which we weren't.
Yeah, we were.
But we are now.
Oh, we were off.
But we were a while ago.
We were off the air.
It was a while ago. He gave a speech yesterday, and one of the things he talked about was border enforcement under President Trump.
Last month, migrant crossings were down 94% to their lowest number all time, and that happened just in 2 months of serious border enforcement.
Good.
Thanks to President Trump's leadership, last month, for the first time in over a year, the majority of job gains went to American citizens born on U.S. soil, and that's important. Wow. For the first time in over a year, the majority of job creation actually went to American citizens.
What?
Yeah. We mentioned that, but boy, when he says it, it really drives the point home.
Yeah, it does.
That's
and they need to say that more.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate him listening to the show.
Yeah, as usual. Thanks for listening, JD.
Thank you.
He also explained in just a few minutes why globalization has failed America.
There were two conceits that our leadership class had when it came to globalization. The first is assuming that we can separate the making of things from the design of things. The idea of globalization was that rich countries would move further up the value chain while the poor countries made the simpler things. You would open an iPhone box and it would say designed in Cupertino, California. Now, the implication, of course, is that it would be manufactured in Shenzhen or somewhere else. And yeah, some people might lose their jobs in manufacturing, but they could learn to design, or to use a very popular phrase, learn to code. But I think we got it wrong. It turns out that the geographies that do the manufacturing get awfully good at the designing of things. There are network effects, as you all well understand. The firms that design products work with firms that manufacture. They share intellectual property, they share best practices, and they even sometimes share critical employees. Now, we assume that other nations would always trail us in the value chain, but it turns out that as they got better at the low end of the value chain, they also started catching up on the higher end. We were squeezed from both ends. Now, that was the first conceit of globalization. I think the second is that cheap labor is fundamentally a crutch, and it's a crutch that inhibits innovation. I might even say that it's a drug that too many American firms got addicted to. Now, if you can make a product more cheaply, it's far too easy to do that rather than to innovate. And whether we were offshoring factories to cheap labor economies or importing cheap labor through our immigration system, cheap labor became the drug of Western economies. And I'd say that if you look in nearly every country from Canada to the UK that imported large amounts of cheap labor, you've seen productivity stagnate. I don't think that's not a total happenstance. I think that the connection is very direct. Now, one of the debates you hear on the minimum wage, for instance, is that increases in the minimum wage force firms to automate. So a higher wage at McDonald's means more kiosks. And whatever your views on the wisdom of the minimum wage, I'm not going to comment on that here. Companies innovating in the absence of cheap labor is a good thing. I think most of you are not worried about getting cheaper and cheaper labor. You're worried about innovating, about building new things, about the old formulation of technology is doing more with less. You guys are all trying to do more with less every single day. And so I'd ask my friends, both on the tech optimist side and on the populist side, not to see the failure of the logic of globalization as a failure of innovation. Indeed, I'd say that globalization's hunger for cheap labor is a problem precisely because it's been bad for innovation. Both our working people, our populists, and our innovators gathered here today have the same enemy. And the solution, I believe, is American innovation.
He's just good. Go. He's just plain good.
So articulate.
Yeah. He's a great speaker.
Man.
And smart.
Yeah.
So makes a pretty good vice president.
So the solution is American innovation.
How about that?
We're going to need to get on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thanks, Elon. Elon Musk can't carry the torch for everything.
Man, jeez. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is encouraging whistleblowers to come forward now, and he's empowering those who do. Here he was yesterday discussing Treasury Department employees who blew the whistle on Hunter Biden.
The culture of being able to come forward when you see wrongdoing is a central part of our democracy. I saw these two fellows before the president's address to Congress in Speaker Johnson's office. They came over to me and said, you know, sir, we're still being harassed. And I had been in touch with Senator Grassley about what was happening to them, but seeing them in person really brought it home for me. So I went and decided I would bring them into Treasury, give them a year to investigate the wrongdoing that's going on at the IRS, and then they will go back in. Mr. Shapley will serve as the senior deputy for investigations and enforcement. So we'll have them in Treasury. We'll learn what's been going on at the IRS, what's been wrong, how could this Hunter Biden nonsense have happened, and we're going to make sure it doesn't happen to anyone again, whether they're Republicans, Democrats, or independents.
All right.
That's
nice.
Really cool. So that's their
He's
job
really been good
for the
too.
next year is to root out what's been happening in IRS with fraud and waste and Hunter Biden type stuff. I hope the same thing happens for people like Steve Friend, one of the FBI whistleblowers. I want that happening over there as well.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how nobody on the left seems to care that Scott Bessent is the first ever Treasury Secretary who is homosexual?
Yeah, I mean, he's the head of the gays, and they don't even talk about
the
him.
gays.
Top gay.
He's one of the top-ranking homosexuals of all time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe the top-ranking
the guy
that we know of.
Wait, what's that, Chris?
An openly gay guy, and it just shows they don't care. They don't care about it.
So, well, hold on, Chris. He's the top gay.
He's the top
right
gay.
now?
He's the top gay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The head of the gays.
So we've mentioned that before.
But
He's the head of the gays.
Who was before, though?
That would have been Buttigieg.
I see.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Secretary of Treasury is way better than Secretary of Transportation. So,
good stuff.
Come on.
Why are you gay?
All right. I got to tell you about something that's seriously changing people's lives and helps me sleep better when I need the help. Beams Dream Powder. I love that Beams, founded right here in the United States, is run by people who get it.
Innovation here in the United States.
Boom.
Yes. Hard work, integrity, and real results. Stuff is backed by science. It's a nighttime blend loaded with natural ingredients that'll have you sleeping like a baby and waking up ready to crush it in the morning. It's not chemicals, which I love that. And so if you don't want to toss and turn like I was doing, waking up wrecked, just so groggy and you can't really get started on your day, please give this a try. It comes in delicious flavors, and it's made, again, with natural ingredients like reishi, magnesium, melatonin. It's all natural. There's no garbage in it, just results. Plus, it tastes great, and it can slot right into your routine at bedtime. Your energy will be back. You'll be focused and dialed in and ready to go. Delicious flavors like salted caramel. Just 15 calories. And it tastes great. And it's 0 sugar, so you don't have to feel guilty about it either. So Beam's hooking you up with a 40% off discount right now off their best-selling Dream Powder. So go to shopbeam.com/Pat. Shopbeam.com/Pat. Use the promo code Pat at checkout. That's shop, SHOPBEAM. Shopbeam.com/Pat. Sleep better, feel better, and back in American brand right now. It's shopbeam.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right. Welcome. Gavin Newsom and Tim Walz were together. I think this was on Gavin's podcast, right?
Yep.
Because every living organism has one, and that includes, of course, Gavin Newsom. And was it last week or the week before? He had who do you have on?
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk. Yeah. And they seem to be okay with each other.
Yeah.
They got along fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like Gavin's got anything else going on. He's only running a state. I mean, of course, California practically runs itself.
That's true.
So he's not.
It
really,
is a
he's got
well-oiled
some free time.
machine.
Well-oiled machine. But yeah. So who's this guy? He's got a
Timmy Tom Tampon Tim Walz,
horse friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking about who supports Donald Trump.
Oh, okay, good.
Have they figured it out that
This will
the
be fun.
identity piece of this is more important than the actual substance behind
Well,
it?
they've been doing it for decades. I mean, we've saw the welfare queens. We've seen the Southern strategy. We've seen it over and over. It's an old playbook, and we're as dumb as we want to be that we allow them to do this with CRT and ESG and DEI and every 3-letter
Listen
word.
to yourself,
And
man.
people.
Yeah, demonize, and they weaponize grievance. They other people. They talk down to people, past people. They humiliate people. They weaponize difficult issues.
Are you kidding me?
But the bottom line is, and I think it goes back to what we began with,
coming from
and
God.
I applaud you for this, is we cannot continue to be on the defense reacting to this.
I
We've
agree.
got to go on the offense. We got to meet people where they are. But I also think this, and this is where, this is part of the conversation I'm trying to have, is you got to respect people you disagree with, even. And you can't just dismiss.
You just mocked
There's
them
no
for
fight it.
20 seconds.
Well,
they just
I
did
think
just
I can
that.
kick most of their ass. I do. I know I can be wrong, but I don't know if we're going to fall into that place where we want to. Okay, we challenge you to a WWE.
I can't
fight
even
here.
listen to this guy
Stop
anymore.
it.
It's just so.
So, but Gavin sets him straight here.
Stop it.
I
Did
think,
he?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
it's
good.
Sum it up for me. What did he say?
Nah, just
What did he say?
play it. It'll be quicker. Just play the rest of the clip.
Actually, I think it's one of the reasons we're losing so many men. And again, it's multi-ethnic. It's not just white men. We're losing them. We're losing them to these guys online. We're losing them to people that I'm bringing on this podcast as well. That's why I brought.
These are bad guys, though. These are bad guys.
But they exist,
gosh.
and we could deny they exist. They exist. Not only they exist, they persist, and they're actually influencing young kids every single day.
How do we push some of those guys back under a rock?
Because he
I
can't
think we
win a
have to first
debate. He wants to
understand
push him
what
under
their
a rock.
motivations are. I think we have to understand what they're actually doing, and
You don't
I think that's
it's
important.
racism and misogyny?
I think there's a lot of that, but I don't think it's exclusively that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Definitely not. I would.
Well,
love
you
to
guys
hear-
keep doing this. You keep
Uh-huh.
playing that game.
No kidding.
All right? Keep going down that road. Just keep denying the fact that you don't have a clue what Americans want here. That you've gone so far to the left that nobody can relate to you anymore. That you can't even handle a back and forth dialogue because you've got no argument. And you'll be shut down the second you allow somebody with half a brain to come on and challenge anything you say.
Yeah, we're the problem.
Yeah,
it's
right,
not the liberals, not the Democratic Party. It's not
My
that they're so out of
gosh.
touch with their cultural Marxism, as you mentioned earlier. And I would love someone to ask Gavin Newsom, point blank, camera rolling, did you just infer that Charlie Kirk, the guy you just shared laughs with, that your son is a big fan of, did you just say he's a bad dude?
Yeah, right.
Please expound on that, Governor.
Yeah,
Right.
These people.
absolutely. And Timmy Walz, what a douchebag!
Oh my gosh,
that guy.
One of the he might be the king of the douche. He might be the grand nozzle right now.
We actually dodged a great bullet with him not being
Yes, we did.
voted in. I know that Elon posted a video of him yesterday, and Elon said, sometimes when I need a little boost, I look at the JD Vance portrait in the White House and I thank the Lord. But here's Timmy, because Timmy was bashing Tesla. And I'm like, what are we doing? Maybe we don't have it. We don't have it yet. Okay. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, well.
What?
Oh, well, he's just talking about how he downloaded a Tesla app, stock app on his phone, and when he needs a little boost, he looks at it because the stock is going down.
Because he's laughing at people losing money?
Yes.
Americans losing money is funny
and
to him?
he's telling them, hey, we don't blame you, the Tesla owners. If you take some dental floss, you can, go ahead and take that Tesla logo off of it.
Really bad.
Shut up.
Really bad.
Thank God for
Especially when people are throwing Molotov cocktails and shooting at Teslas right now.
Yes.
And then that's what you're going to say?
And keying them, scraping them,
doxing,
destroying them.
You're being doxed if you own a Tesla. And that he's cool with that, it sounds like? Okay.
They found that old man, by the way. They got him and arrested him.
Good.
That keyed that Tesla.
Yeah. Good.
So that's fantastic. Ugh, these people are just, they're insane. They're insane. They can't even get along with each other, as evidenced by the 2 stars in the upcoming Snow White movie, which opens
this weekend.
Opens Friday,
this
right?
Weekend, yeah.
Gal Gadot and Rachel Ziegler, not friends, apparently. I was fascinated by this article because, they did the movie together.
Yep.
And now they have to promote the movie.
Well,
but it's tough to do it together because they can't stand each other.
And Disney pulled back the red carpet party.
Yeah.
Didn't invite anybody. They had, of course, we're going to have the screening. Don't be silly, but we don't want anybody there. And it was just incredible. And she is a nightmare.
Oh my gosh, she is one of the worst I've ever heard. One of the insiders said that the 2 actresses. First of all, there's a huge age gap. Well, Gal Gadot's 39, the other one's 23.
Yeah, she's long in the tooth now.
And they have very different political views. Yeah, they do. The first source agreed the differing political views is adding to the tension. Well, yeah, because one of them is a 23-year-old know-nothing moron.
Right.
The other one has some actual life experience and knowledge. And she understands that Israel is not the bad guy here. They're defending themselves from a massive massacre, and the other one can't seem to understand any of that.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
And her comments about Snow White.
Yeah, the actual story.
How they had to change it. And
she said there's a big focus in the original story. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird. So we didn't do that this time. The prince? You're talking about the prince literally stalks her? Why did Disney pick this absolute buffoon?
I don't know.
For this part.
And we'll see how it turns out at the theaters. Wow. I mean, I read my favorite. I was looking for the post from this writer. She writes for Variety, and she gave it this glowing review of what a great movie it was. And then I saw where Variety then posts a story about how much the reviewers are saying what a wonderful movie it is. And I'm thinking, no, that was your writer.
Yeah,
what are we talking about? No, everyone else has been crushing it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
What it cost to make? Did you say
$270 million?
Yeah.
Just a tad pricey.
That's a tad. That's gonna hurt as a write-off later.
Holy cow! Well, I mean, I don't know.
They'll make some.
It's setting up to be a flop, but sometimes they surprise you.
And they'll make some. I mean, is a flop $300 million? You know what I mean?
For Disney,
yeah. I mean, is that a flop? Yes, I would say, because they would expect it to be, hit the $1 billion mark. But people. My wife, for example, we saw a commercial for it, and I hear her go, I'm torn between that. I think I want to see it, and I'm like, no, you don't.
Well, there's so many controversies.
Why are you talking right now?
The first thing we heard about was the fact that they were going to use actual little people,
right,
for the dwarves,
right.
And then that was an issue.
Can't do that.
Can't do that. That was somehow politically incorrect, I guess. And so they still have dwarves in it, They're just CGI dwarves.
Right.
So hang on.
So they just completely eliminated
humans from it.
Yeah, you're telling.
Is that better?
So disqualifying people that are midgets that need a job and want to have an acting career. You just told 7 of them you're not needed
Sorry.
here?
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry, we don't want anything to do with you.
Wow. So that's okay.
Dwarves, midgets, little people, whatever you want to be called.
I mean, 2 of the biggest ones in the world, right?
Crazy.
Peter Dinklage and Brad Williams would have been great dwarves.
Oh, they would have been great.
I'm sure there's.
And I'm sure they would have loved
biggest
it.
Ones?
You could probably make them, use the money that you would have made from it too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just Disney is so bad now.
It's gone.
Just such bad management. I thought Iger was gonna. I thought he was going to bring it back.
And a lot of that stuff was started when he was there the first time. Before he left the last time.
He's actually the problem.
Yeah.
I think. I think his politics are actually the problem, and he's hired people in positions of power within the company that are making these horrible decisions. Like the woman.
And he wants to leave, Pat.
No,
he wants to.
Yeah,
they just keep dragging him back in.
He's just too good. Jeffy, he can't leave. He's just too good.
Boy, and the results are showing.
Oh, aren't they?
Right?
Yeah.
By the way, if you're keeping count of conservatives being swatted, former Bill Clinton accuser Juanita Broderick swatted.
Oh my gosh, it happened again?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
The left, they're so fun.
Aren't they fun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And inclusive and tolerant
stuff.
Yep,
that's a good one.
Whatnot.
Unless.
So forth. Well, if you disagree with them, they're not. But
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.